My dear friends, we're here today to talk to you about the importance of Catholic education for your children, the value and the substance that it builds for them both academically and spiritually. Holly Goodwin is our superintendent. She discusses Catholic education.
The mission of a Catholic school is to educate and inform each child. Each child is formed into a disciple of Jesus Christ. We spend 8 hours a day creating a culture where the kids encounter Christ. We do this by having teachers who model the faith, who are passionate about the faith, and they look at each child as a gift from God. They work with that child to help them to develop their academic gifts and their spiritual gifts so that they can become all God has planned for them. For 8 hours a day, each day, these children are loved, cared for, and educated so that they truly become disciples of Christ.
I think here at a Catholic school we essentially create a well-rounded child. Not only educationally is it strong, but faith and morals and values and the importance of family and beliefs and community is very important here.
Well, my school it's not just a school, it's a faith community, and in other places I can't really talk about God because other people might have different beliefs than me, but at a Catholic school and at my Catholic school, we can profess our faith to anyone there because they all believe in the same thing potentially that we do.
In fact, I think that we are ahead of the game academically. The academic subjects don't take a back seat necessarily to the faith. They're just all integrated together. So yes, we have a religion class, the schedule in the day. We build in the time to go to Mass, but our academics are very rigorous. We adhere to the state and national standards, and with our 7-point grading scale, they're actually held to a more strenuous standard than they would be in the public school.
I think what makes us different is the fact that we are all on the same page with the parents. The families here and the faculty here are all imparting the same values to their children. We all want the best for them. We all focus on Christian biblical values as the basis for what we're doing here and the behavior that we expect of them and what we expect them to take from here as they become lifelong givers, learners, and people who care about humanity.
Catholic schools have to offer a group of things, not just an excellent education academically, but some social norms that are important. And the social norms spring from a moral foundation and a commonality, an identity with the Catholic faith, structure and discipline that you may not always find at other schools.
The best part about Catholic school is that I feel that they really prepare you for life and values and morals in the Catholic part, and then in normal life, such as college, high school, further education and family.
You have to be constantly challenging them to see God in their life and see God around them and to talk about what God wants them to do with their life. Just being smart and being successful academically isn't going to fulfill their life. I think they will only really be happy as adults if they're well-rounded, and that includes their faith.
And on every Tuesday, I go to Mass, and it really helps me grow in my faith. And some kids that are Catholic, they don't really know what it means to be Catholic, but for me, by going to a Catholic school, helps me understand my faith.
Because when I'm teaching social studies, when I'm teaching language arts, whatever we're discussing, it all comes back to theology. It comes to what God wants for us, what kind of people He wants us to be, what kind of people that He knows and trusts for us to be, and everything comes back to that because we are going to do whatever we can for the glory of God.
I think Catholic education is amazing. It offers not only the academics, but certainly an environment with high expectations. You're in low class sizes, so there's relationship building between other students with staff and the ability to continue the most important relationship, and that's with God.
I think everybody thinks about the faith part of Catholic education, and I think people understand that well. But what's different about Catholic education is rigor and discipline. The kids know how they need to behave in society, and the expectations level of behavior is so much higher than I've seen in my own kids' education in public school.
My class is wonderful. All my friends, they're so helpful. There's nothing mean they ever say. They're always encouraging you, helping me with something. They're loving. They never put you down. They don't think anybody's greater than another or nobody's less than another.
I actually feel that the Catholic education, and coming from a perspective of belief or, a religious influence, opens more doors to interpreting text and film because we're not restricted in questions. If a student wants to ask about death and about life or about moral situations, we're able to go back to their foundation of, what about Jesus? What about apostles, saints? And we can address all of these issues in a number of different ways, which gives them a wider perspective and actually gets them thinking more critically.
Okay, well, I think first and foremost, you can teach a child and nourish a child's mind. We can do that anywhere. But if you aren't nurturing that child's spirit as well, you run the danger of losing their soul in this world where everything is so secular. At Corpus Christi, at all of our Catholic schools, they are immersed in Catholicism, in spirituality, in our beliefs, and we share those beliefs. Even those children that are coming to us, they're not Catholic, they're Christian. They know as much about our religion as anyone else, and they're just as thrilled to be here.
Even when you're having discipline problems, what would Jesus do? That is something that is powerful. It's powerful to our kids here. You could say that to a lot of other people, and I don't think that it makes the same impact as it does here, because you want to please God. That is why you're here.
I read a very interesting article just a couple of weeks ago, and it was speaking to the fact that society is really telling us now that we are we're training children to prepare for today. In Catholic schools, we are preparing them for tomorrow, and then as in longer kinds of aspects. So, when we look at the formation, both academically and spiritually, we want to prepare them, not just for immediate feedback, but for the decisions that they're going to have to make, the issues they may face as they become adults and into adulthood. What are they going to do when they're faced with a social issue or an economic issue or any of those kinds of things?
Catholic schools are very important because when you go there, you feel as if when you graduate and have to leave, that you are ready for the next stage of your life. Catholic schools help set you up for success in the next part of your life. And I feel like maybe at other schools, like public schools, that might not happen as much.
I go back to when Jesus asked the disciples after the dissertation on the Eucharist, on the bread of life, and he says, "Are you going to leave too?" And Peter says, "To whom else would I go?" And I just feel like there's nowhere else I could be. It's not that there's something here that is not in public school, it's that there's everything here.
I just love to say to parents today, listen, this has got to be number one. It's got to be number one, and it's always a sacrifice. And for some, it's more of a sacrifice because the costs of Catholic schools are far greater than they were when I went to school. But it's the best sacrifice you'll make for your child. It's absolutely the greatest thing, Catholic schools.
My friends, I hope you understand the significant role that Catholic education plays in all of our lives, especially your children, how important academics are, how important our spiritual life is. It is through our baptismal commitment that we recognize Christ in our lives, and this will help your children know Jesus and build that strong foundation. Please pray about it. Please think about it. Please continue to be committed. God bless you.